welcome to my channel, Motivated and Inspired. My name is Mimi. I just want to talk about COVID restriction in Spain. It's somehow funny and frustrating and annoying, and it's crazy, really crazy. When I see it on the table during all this period of COVID pandemic, everyone asks me all the time about how is the situation in Africa? How is it going? There's no many numbers popping up from Africa. It's like, and I'm like, we're the ones supposed to die for all of you all the time? Like, must it be bad in Africa all the time? You know, people are a bit sick and ignorant, so they have stupid thoughts in their mind all the time, so they expect very worst of Africa all the time. But in this period of COVID, I'm so proud of most African countries because there are videos all over online. Many countries, African countries, have restrictions and very tight restrictions, okay, which most Africans do not appreciate of or do not even value, okay. You only get to value Africa when you travel out of Africa and you live abroad and you activate your consciousness and open your common sense, and then you be like, oh my God, it's this great back then. But we never knew it, you know? You never know and you never recognize it until you get here. And this pandemic period has really opened my eyes because there's so many African countries that are really very strict on this. And especially in Ghana. Since September, when Ghana opened its borders, when Ghana, which is supposed to be a third world country, opened its borders in September, okay, it placed a restriction. You have to do the PCR test before you get to Ghana, even before you are allowed on board. You have to. So there was so much complaint, so many people crying because they were stranded at the airport. They were not allowed to enter the country because they didn't do the COVID test, and well, some people couldn't afford it at the airport. This was strict. Compared to Spain, where I lived, they just started doing that on 23rd of October. Recently, okay. Now, why I'm doing this video is most African countries like Tanzania, like Kenya, Ghana, they are all observing the restriction and making sure everyone does take the test. You prove it that you do not have COVID, you're COVID negative before they allow you into the country. However, it is not the same thing in a country like England. I know that for a fact, and it's not the same thing in Spain. Now, my husband traveled, okay, this month, this December, entered Spain. He did a test and he was not checked at the airport. I did travel from Alicante to Madrid and there was no check at any point. Right now, we are in national lockdown, so we cannot travel to other regions, and if you do have to travel, you must have a really realistic reason. It must be a necessary trip to make before you are allowed to travel. So you must have a proof of that, right? So I had my proofs and I was able to enter Madrid and travel back from Madrid to Alicante, and there was no check whatsoever. And then I'm thinking, why do these people think that their cases are increasing and cases from Ghana, for example, is not increasing as much as in their country? And they are wondering if we are really lying about the numbers or not. Like, this is basic. they are putting maximum priority in taking preventive measures, okay? Preventive measures, precautions. And in developed countries, they are not doing that because you're civilized, because you want freedom. And so people complain, no, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. And then, so I don't know, but there is no restrictions. There are restrictions, but actually they are not really checking anything with all the experiences I have had. And so you have to be like responsible. If you're not responsible, then you're going to like spread the virus if you should have it, or you're going to be contaminated with the virus. So all I just want to say is I do respect Africa, many countries in Africa in this very period, because we are placed as third world countries, and yet Ghana, for instance, didn't open its borders until September. It was also providing accommodation for people who traveled into the country in the early days of COVID, all right, to quarantine them. And it wasn't the same here. It wasn't the same here. In June, July, people from outside Spain could already enter the country. Whilst in Ghana, if you have to enter the country, you need to prove that you do not have COVID. So you see, even if there are cases there, it's going to be minor cases. It's just going to be people within the country. You understand? Because they are not allowing people bring more virus into the country. Like, I'm so proud to be a Ghanaian. I'm so proud to be African. Like, be bold, be you, say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anyone. But most of all, stay motivated and inspired.
Stay motivated and inspired.